Tonight, we'll find out if they are loquacious or not. Tonight's first speaker is Joe Buzinski. Joe recently traveled to Oregon to celebrate his father's 85th birthday with him. While driving back, Joe had an interesting experience that he would like to share with us involving a salami and a cheese sandwich on baguette. Joe's speech project under the Effective Coaching Pathways category, Inspire Your Audience, will be 5 to 7 minutes long. Let's give Joe a warm welcome for his speech entitled, A Sandwich is Just a Sandwich Until It's Not.
Thank you for that fun introduction. Karma, visualization, the secret. What is it? Is it a coincidence? Or is there more going on that we can see? Ask for it, believe in it, and it'll appear right before your eyes. That's what happened to me. I want to start by telling you a little bit about a book and a movie that I read called The Secret. Years ago, when I saw the movie, they looked like a bunch of nut jobs, and they still do. The actors in that movie were a little bit tricky, kind of like a lot of 60s people with big hair, and it was this really interesting crowd. But it made an interesting point, and I couldn't shake it loose. So years later, I found out they had a book called The Secret. I thought, well, I don't have to look at the nut jobs if I can read the book at my pace. And so I did. While my adult attention deficit disorder did not allow me to finish the entire book, it did allow me to pick up on 3 key points that tied into my story. So let me begin. My wife and I were driving back from Tillamook, Oregon, visiting my father 2 weeks ago. As we were approaching Portland, we were both hungry because we had to get out of there before we had breakfast. And I said to her, let's go ahead and stop and get some food. And she said, great idea, we can stop in Portland. I said, you know, I'm the driver. I think we should get through Portland, get through traffic, and find somewhere on the other side of Portland we can stop in a small town. And she said, okay, that makes sense. So now I'm thinking, where on the other side of Portland is there good food that I like, it's healthy and tasty, and I enjoy? Somewhere we stopped before. And then I remembered about the baguette. I discovered it on a prior trip, and it stayed with me. It was that good. And so as I was driving, I was thinking about this baguette and how good it was. I'm trying to remember, what was the name of the restaurant? What exit? What city is it in? How can I find this baguette? So I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and I connected a friend of mine that lives in Hood River to the baguette. Because when we drive through to go visit my father, we usually call her on the way and stop and get lunch together. And so I called her, and she picked up the phone. And I said, T, it's Joe. We're driving through, and we need to stop for lunch. And are you available for lunch? She said, sure. And then I said, well, the real reason I'm calling is because the last time we drove through town, you took us to a place, and there was a deli, and they had this baguette, and I'm dying to have that baguette again. And she said, oh, I know that place. And she told me the name and the exit, and I plugged it into my Google Maps, and I said, I'll see you there in 45 minutes. So I continued driving through Portland and all the traffic, navigating the bridges and all the turns and everything. Got onto the 84, heading to Hood River. All I could think about was the sandwich. My stomach was activated. My brain had it going. And I was getting hungrier and hungrier by the minute. So we pulled into Hood River, got off the exit, found the restaurant, and in walks my friend T. White. Perfect timing, we just got here. We turned around, we get in line, I look up at the menu, and the baguette is not on the menu. Being there with my wife and my good friend T. White, I didn't want to show my disappointment because I didn't want them to feel my pain. So I stepped up, didn't complain, didn't say anything other than it's not on the menu, and found something else. I figured if the baguette was that good, there must be something of equal value, quality on that. So I went for it. After paying, went to the restroom, washed up, came out, and there's my wife and my friend T sitting there, and on the chair in front of me was a sandwich. I'm like, wait a minute, honey, what's your lunch? You only brought mine. And she said, hey, Dan, I'll bring my sandwich. I said, oh, let me go talk to the waiter. So I turned around to go and remembered, wait a minute, if they didn't bring her sandwich, maybe they put her sandwich on my plate. I better go check. So I go back to my chair and I open up the wrapping, and it is the baguette that I dreamed about, wanted, thought about, visualized, and got my stomach going over. It wasn't on the menu, I didn't order it, I didn't pay for it, I didn't ask for it, and yet there it was. It took me a couple of minutes to really process this and how I should handle my next steps. I really couldn't think. I was just so overwhelmed and shocked that the sandwich that I didn't even order appeared just for me. I found the waitress who took our order, and I said, Miss, excuse me, and just to let you know, I'm not complaining, but you guys brought me the wrong sandwich, which, by the way, is the whole reason I came here was for that sandwich. But you didn't have it on the menu. I didn't order it. I ordered something else. I'm just wondering how this happened. And she said, well, sir, I've worked here for a long time, and we make a lot of mistakes in our food orders. So I'm not quite sure. But I do know that there was one extra baguette that they're grab and goes. We don't put them on the menu. That's why it wasn't on the menu. They're grab and goes. And we had one left over. We just set it off to the side. It was not on the big tray with the grab and goes because there's only one left. I said, well, I want it. I want to pay for it. And please. And she said, no charge, sir. What would you like to do with the lunch you paid for? I said, I'll eat that now. I'll take the baguette with me. It was a shocking experience in a really good way. It just was the ice cream on my cake. A wonderful moment in life. I challenge you in closing to try what I did. It's 3 simple steps. You find something that's really important to you. Like, I want to buy that beautiful house. Oh, I can't afford it. I'm going to get that house. Then you spend 5 minutes every morning visualizing living in the home. How would it feel to wake up and, oh my God, look at my beautiful living room. I want to make coffee. Sit on the patio. Feel what it would be like to live in that home, your dream home. And then you got to do something about it. Go out, work on your credit, try and get a raise, save up some money, and then report back to me after you've done this. And do a Toastmaster speech, because I'd like to hear about your success. Thank you.